overcoming all obstacles. ABSA, going the extra mile to get you financed.
On to the second lap of the 400-kilometer-long Pilanesberg race in and around this old volcanic crater formed thousands of years ago. But the latest Nissan technology was helping Duncan Foss and Ralph Pitchford break free of the competition. Eating their dust was Variawa and Rousseau, who were leading Class A but were desperate to win outright. They had a slender lead over the rest in class. Bertolt and Costain had managed to get past Grobler, who had to stop to repair a flat, and that got them all fired up. With the Ford Ranger of Woolridge and Scholthammer purring along at breakneck pace and ready to claim their first points of the 07 season. Grobler was mightily disappointed at having to stop, and he and Jordan were still battling their suspension and shock absorber problems. But the mustachioed duo know only one way: never give up. Cox was next, and the motorite man, who has now clinched 22 national crowns in motorsport, was grinding them all down despite his fuel pump problems in the all-new Bat 3. Tollefson's charge up the leaderboard was impressing all and sundry. From 16th and into the top 10, his second lap was the second fastest of all the production cars. The Sulwald Zarko, with Herman Sulwald driving and Mornay Miller piloting, was doing the same trick, shooting up the order. They were impressive on lap 2. Meanwhile, Marsh and Groenewald also steamed past from 21st right into the top 12. And with the dropout rate almost past the 40% mark, Cronje and Birken had also made a big move in the Castrol Toyota Hilux. The manufacturer's champions were hard at work. And so was 2005 champion Evan Hutchison. He and Kim Bergman were not only battling conditions and the route, but they also had some mechanical trouble. They'd lost the front brakes entirely, a tough way to drive off-road. To celebrate their 50 years of motor racing, the Total Motorsport crew of Musaji and Bodhania were doing some low flying. These two have been going well on a privateer's budget, but the moment they stepped it up, they were challenging. And ditto for the Regent outfit, brand new to the sport, but with a well-put-together team, and Whitehouse and Langton were up into the top 10 in Class A. The Century Properties Development Nissan, with Mark Corbett and Rudy Balzar in control, were hanging in, but injector trouble soon put an end to their northwest quest, while Schroeder and Huxtable were keeping them honest too. Mark Taylor had quietly worked his way into second place in Class B in the JRE. Father and son Jan and Hendrik Kraaij had the bat sounding and looking very impressive. Schilling and Davies kept plugging away, and with their years of experience, that's what it takes on events as tough as this.
Easy right, easy left.
For Harkis and Moore, there was just one way: pedal to the metal.
Straight ahead. 300 meters, 90 right. That was an ugly over. Gotta keep his right now.
BB Auto's Duplessis and Knox were up from 40th to the top 15 and were very consistent with their lap times. While Rundle and Roberts in the Bowden Tyres entry were also steadily working their way around lap 2's treachery, dust and ever-increasing heat. The De Bruins, Hendrik and Jaap and the Mickerin XL dealer team Toyota had started 63 after the prologue, but they provided the drive of the day to move into 18th place. While Visser and LaRue's steady approach in the Toyota Hilux got them into second place in Class E, halfway through lap 2. Ruacon's Barkhuisens were also going well in their Toyota after setting off in 54th position overnight. The Ford outfit back at the designated service point was starting to smile as word filtered through that they were going well. Jack Beckham and Lucio Santoro were challenging in Class E in their diesel Ranger, while Labuschagne was having the drive of his life all on his own lonesome in the Raconics Nissan. At DSP, the Nissan crew were ready to go to work on Force's charge, which still looked in perfect nick. Team manager Glenn Hall was on hand to get the latest on the car and the conditions.
No problems. We've had a trouble-free run so far, and yeah, we've got one more lap to go.
What's it look like out there?
It's getting extremely bumpy because we've already done it 3 times, so when we go now, we'll have done it a 4th time, and it's shaking us to pieces.
The Atlas Copco Porter with Gary Bertelt and Henry Costain got their crew buzzing next after all the dust.
Yeah, it's very, very dusty. It's a very tough day out there. Unfortunately, we got stuck behind Duncan coming in here where there's a lot of dust, so we lost a bit of time there. But yeah, good race. Just got to keep it together for the last 180 k's now.
Ford supporters grinned from ear to ear as Woolridge and Schulthammer appeared next at the Sun City DSP, their second lap having taken just 1 hour and 46 minutes, but the battle scars were evident. In the Nissan camp, there were some worries as their number 1 man, Grobler, just could not get going. A flat late on lap 2 hindered their cause even more. As Hutchison made his appearance, Jordan was taking stock.
Baie rof en ons het 'n bietjie van 'n probleem met die skokbrekers. Ons weet nie wat die probleem is nie. Ons gaan nou kyk. Ons het baie tyd verloor. Ons het ook 'n paar wiel gehad, maar ons gaan 'n lekker tyd hê.
As Voss stepped into the breach one more time for the mammoth last lap over 180 k's, the team manager for Motorrad reflected on the first 240 kilometers and the job still ahead.
Yeah, we're having a tough day, man. We've got the same reoccurring fuel pressure problem. I think we got about 3rd place. We've been passing people the whole day, the whole morning. We had no problems. First lap, just catching guys and passing them in the dust was a bit tricky. But we've got this fuel problem which dropped us back to 5th or 6th position, I think. So there's nothing we can do. We got to just carry on limping. We're not really racing. We're just driving to finish. We have to get points. So they found a few things that we think might be the problem at the moment. And if that's made a difference, then we'll be able to give it a full go again. But at the moment, we're just sort of limping on.
The surprise package in the specials was without doubt Musaji and Bodhanya, who were up into the top 5 and taking no prisoners. While Cronje and Birkin were getting ready to do battle after their compulsory 15-minute stop at DSP. For Manfred Schroeder and Ward Huxtable in the Barlow World Absolute Ford Ranger, there were 1 or 2 hiccups, but they got on top of it.
What's it like out there?
Not very. Oh, it was quite rough. Just the first lap, our steering wheel came off, so to stop and tighten it again, and it came off. We ended up getting here with 2 bolts, and then the last 5 k's we had a puncture. And then the second lap we had a nice clean run, but it's very dusty. You can catch the guys and you cannot get close to them to pass them.
Vehicle and asset finance from Absa, going off the beaten track to find solutions.